Living in America is not normal. Rather, the way we are living in America is not normal. Um, Trump is now our president. And as a black woman, and as a mother, as a therapist, as a person who is currently in a psychoanalytic training program, I'm really concerned, and I'm thinking about how our defense mechanism may have contributed to the outcome of the election, but also to the way we are living as a society in America. The first defense mechanism I want to talk about is about sublimation. We live in a society where achievement is the standard, where always working, always doing is important, and that becomes our internal self. But what if when someone doesn't necessarily want to work that hard? So they may sublimate, they may um, set goals or make it okay to having 4 jobs and 3 jobs. And granted, we do it because we need to sustain ourselves. Um, but I've come across, where we as a society make it appear that it is a good thing, to be burnt out. And we wear it as a badge of honor. I also want to talk about denial, another defense mechanism. America excels on the idea of illusion. So we cope by being in denial about the circumstance of the economy or the healthcare or how things are. There's such a disparity or a gap between um, people who are Trump supporters and people who are not, and folks in the middle, folks who are like, well, it's not that bad. Democrats, sorry, and Republicans are bad. But yeah, that may be true or false, but that's the denial, right? Understanding that when we make something that isn't okay, we are essentially, in a state of denial. America's obsession with control, right, stems from the place of fear of loss of power, right? We could see it with the rhetoric that's being shown right now, and the policies that have been um, repealed, right? Um, but I do want to talk a little bit more about those Trump supporters, the people sort of in the middle that make it okay or think, well, that won't affect me, right? That's where denial kicks in. But also, there are others who are demonstrating their internal conflict, right? They are projecting their internal conflict onto people, or they're jumping into the bandwagon of Trumpism. Um, so yeah, there's so much anxiety and internal chaos that people are projecting onto others. You know, um, the American dream promises success, but at what cost, really? Are we repressing? Are we pulling back from the things that we really want to do to uphold the standards of the American system? Um, and in order to break free from these defense mechanisms, it's important to be aware. And psychoanalysis uh, teaches us to dig deeper, to go further, to not just, sit at the surface, to confront the subconscious and its biases, right? I think awareness and healing is possible, but it would mean that we would truly have to examine um, how our subconscious, ego, superego, and id contributes to the America that we have now.